As someone who's navigated the ups and downs of relationships myself, I've always found comfort in knowing I'm not alone in my struggles. That's why I'm excited to share some real-life stories from the Reddit community relationship advice with you today, hoping they might offer a little solidarity and wisdom along the way. My 26 female BF, 30 male, got me Pokmon for Christmas, and I can't let it go. Do I call it quits or work it out? For context, my boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Since I've known him, he has always loved Pokmon. Personally, I have no interest, but as his partner, I encourage his hobbies and support him. This past Christmas, we had a few brief conversations about Christmas budgets and have mentioned to each other things we have been wanting. I knew Pokmon packs were on the top of his list, so I made sure to get him some. I mentioned wanting a few beauty products and a specific hoodie. Well, Christmas comes around, and to my surprise, I opened my gifts. The first one was a pack of Pokmon cards. Okay, whatever. The next one was a booster box of Pokmon cards. I stop and ask him if he's joking, because this must be a joke, right? Well, he smirks and tells me to keep going. I open my next gift. It was another booster box of Pokemon cards. He was full of excitement while I opened my gifts. That's it, those were my 3 gifts. I am not, and never have been, interested in Pokemon. After this, I told him I needed a moment to myself. I went to our bedroom and took a moment to gather my thoughts and lower my temper. When I came back to the living room, there he was on the floor. Both booster packs and the pack of cards he got me were open and sprawled across the floor. I was in shock. Not only did he get me gifts that I didn't want, but he actually got them for himself and tried to play it off. I have been trying to move past this, as I did not want to seem ungrateful, but I just can't believe he would do something like this. Every time I have tried to bring it up, he has told me how expensive those booster boxes were and how I made him feel bad for not appreciating my gifts. Am I being ungrateful, or is he just a jerk? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. That's literally insane, and the best possible explanation is that he's wildly emotionally unintelligent. So, if that's what you like, I guess stay with him. Adia, it just registered that this is a 30-year-old man. Sis, why? I really want to know what the possible good qualities this man might have. Because I can't imagine he's a thoughtful, attentive partner in any other way, if this is how he handles gift giving. You have accepted this behavior, talk to him now, because this is shocking. Next birthday, buy him your favorite handbag, perfume, or makeup, and do the same to him. Just break up with him. Is this post fake? I can't believe this is real, especially in 2024. And now for the next story. Optimist 22, female dating, pessimist 24 Aaron. I, 22F, and my boyfriend, 24 Emmer, have been fighting a lot the past couple of months. We've been together for almost 2 years. For some context, he has been chronically injured for a little over 2 years and has been unable to do anything by himself. His condition has been progressively getting worse and wearing on his mental state. I now have to do everything for him. Cooking, cleaning, shopping, feeding him, and bathing him. The works. This obviously can put some strain on the relationship, but recently it seemed to have gotten worse. He was always a very realistic and blunt person, and it's what I liked about him. However, now that I've been doing everything for him and around the house, it feels like he has more to critique me on compared to in the past. This has been more irritating to me than usual, albeit I am quite an emotional person. Because of his injuries, he's become more of a pessimistic person in recent times. He always speaks on how he's never going to heal, even though he is still actively trying to get better. I see myself as a very optimistic person, trying to find something positive as to help bring both of our mental states up. This includes, but is not limited to, when I mess up a recipe, make a small mistake when driving, aren't playing very well during video games, or aren't very efficient when doing something. He always used to critique me on these things, and I never used to mind it because he was able to show me how to improve. However, now it just feels hurtful when he critiques me, because it's about everything I do. He still tells me occasionally whenever I do a good job, but more often than not, it seems like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough at anything anymore. This has led to constant fighting, almost every other day it seems. So I'm not sure if this is something we can get past. It just seems like my optimistic nature and his pessimism are at odds at all times. Does anyone have any advice or experience with these types of disagreements? I've never been with someone so blunt before, and I'm not sure if I can even call it being pessimistic. I enjoy that he's very honest with me, so I'm not sure why it's been so upsetting recently. I don't want to leave him in such a vulnerable and incapable state, but the constant fighting is also wearing on my mental state as well. And now for the next story. My 25 female best friend confessed to my 26 male boyfriend of 3 years, and now he's confused. I'm 24 female. Honeys. I thought my best friend and I were tight, but last week she sat my boyfriend down and said she's been in love with him for years. He told me immediately, which I appreciated, but then he dropped a bombshell. He says he needs space to think about his feelings. What feelings? We've been together for 3 years, and I thought we were solid. My friend and I have known each other since high school, and I never saw this coming. Now she's texting me saying she's sorry but had to be honest about her feelings. I don't know what to do. Do I confront her? Give him the space he's asking for? Or do I just walk away from both of them? I feel so blindsided. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. You walk away from them both. If my wife's bestie approached me like that, thinking about my feelings would not be on the list of things to do. I would tell her that I do not have any feelings for her, then talk to my wife right away and ask her how she wants us to handle it. I would not want to be alone with that person anymore, but otherwise it is for my wife to decide if she wants her out of our lives entirely or not. For OP's boyfriend to react like that, something must already be going on. If my wife's bestie did this, one of two things would happen. Either we would be cutting her off and having no contact and move on, or I'd be carrying a shovel and sworn to secrecy. My wife is a jealous woman, not in a bad way, and you do not want to encroach on her territory, me. I love my wife. Lol. Edit. The replies to this have made me laugh, and it's nice to see I've made some people have a giggle. Keep having fun and enjoy your days. You don't even have to be a jealous person to be horribly angry at someone doing this. It's so wildly inappropriate and selfish. Saying I had to be honest about my feelings is one thing when that person isn't in a relationship. It's totally different when they are. So sorry, OP. Oh, I know. I didn't say only a jealous woman would react this way. I'm just saying my wife is a jealous wife in a good way. The kind that if a woman would come up to me and flirt, she would make it very clear I was her man. So, if her bestie was the one to do auto boy. Get the popcorn. I love my wife. Haha, I'm not at gunpoint, I swear. I'm like your wife in that I am secure in my relationship and happy, but cross the line, and there are consequences. Oh, 100% she very much knows I do nothing, and would tell her, but I fear for the lady who crosses the line. But at the same time when it happens want to pull up a chair, get a drink, get out the popcorn, and watch the show. And now for the next story. My boyfriend, 29 male 5 months, asked me, 33 female, if I would choose my cats over him. During an argument yesterday, my boyfriend asked me if I would choose my 2 cats over him, if it came down to it. When I couldn't answer, he flipped out and said that I clearly don't love him if I'd choose cats over him. He said that he would choose me over absolutely anything, and that he'd sacrifice literally anything anyone else to be with me. He said that while cats are loving companions, they can't do the same things that a human can, so it should be a no-brainer to pick him over them. Does this sound controlling or manipulative to anyone? Or do you think he has a valid point? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. If I've been dating someone for 5 months and they say they'd sacrifice literally anything anyone else to be with me, I would be pretty worried about their emotional stability. Worry that he's even asking that question. If someone truly loves you, they wouldn't make you pick between them and your cats. Exactly. The correct answer to questions like this is, I don't answer stupid questions. And why would he even ask? Need for validation, or is he going to tell her to get rid of the cat? He 100% is gauging her reaction to him asking about the cats. Drop the BF. Keep the kitties. I'd seriously consider breaking up with him just for posing the question, especially since they've only been together 5 months. But I'd absolutely break up with him over his flipping out. And now for the next story. My 23 female immigrant parents, mostly mom, hate my boyfriend 26 male, so much it's ruining my life. My 23 female immigrant parents, mostly mom, hate my boyfriend 26 male so much it's ruining my life. I 23 female have been dating my boyfriend 26 male for 3 years. I met him while I was in school studying writing. He's a musician, but works in tech. He is also white Jewish American. My parents are Iranian immigrants. Basically meaning, they are very, very involved in my life. The logic of you're an adult, do whatever you want does not work in this situation. The only time I would really be able to exist as my own separate entity is if I did something very drastic and cut them out of my life completely. Which at this point, I'm wondering if I'm going to be forced to do. My mother is a total narcissist. I have no doubt in my mind that she's a pure narcissist. Many of her siblings are as well. She has always been extremely manipulative and harsh with the people around her, expecting everyone to have unconditional empathy for her, but never returning that empathy. She will often jump from 0-100 out of nowhere and will start screaming and really harshly insulting anyone in a 10-foot radius. I have always had many issues with her. There have been points where I've been able to find manageable methods of communicating with her. In fact, there have been points where I believed we had a good relationship. However, these times were always fleeting. You may notice below that I am mostly referring to my mother. That's because she's really the face-driving force of everything in my family. My dad and brother don't like him either. They're just not causing as many problems as her. Since I've started dating my boyfriend, my relationship to my mom has gotten really, really bad. We constantly have 4-hour-long arguments about him, where she will kick and scream and whine, and I will eventually remove myself from the conversation to go cry. So why does she hate him? Well, this is her criteria for what my partner should be. Should be a doctor, or at least have a PhD in something. Should be from a high-class, respectable family. Should make at least $200K a year. Should be Persian. She should like the way he looks. My boyfriend and I both have B. As from the same university and our families are from very similar financial backgrounds, upper middle class. If anything, his family is in a better financial position than us. He is not making $200K a year, but is making enough to live comfortably right now. We are also both artists who are pursuing our artistic careers along with making a living. This is something that's very important to us, and we both know it can take a while to earn a good income. To be honest, I think they care about the money more than him being Persian. As learning Farsi anyways? Important to note that my parents view everything from the context of marriage. They do not believe in dating for fun. Whenever we have conversations about him, it's always in the context of marriage. Also, my mother does not give a single shit that we are in love, or happy, or have a good relationship. She thinks that's utter bullshit. The only thing that matters to her is how it looks on paper. These constant arguments are taking a massive toll on me. I have tried to set boundaries. I have tried to get her to talk to me in a more amicable way. I have tried to get them to see my point of view, and just calm down a little bit. They don't care at all. They think I'm naive. They think I'm throwing my life away. They think that everything they did for me was for nothing if I end up with him. My mom is filled with such violent rage when she talks about him. Sometimes I think if he was in the room she would try to physically hurt him. She tells me that she does all this because she cares so much about me. And I do think she cares about me. It's just the way she goes about showing it that is so painful. I feel anxious and stressed all the time. It makes it impossible for me to focus on my work for extended periods of time. It makes me feel hopeless about my future and career. I don't want to cut my parents off. They have supported me and have given me a life that I'm grateful for. It just feels like it's getting impossible to carry on like this. But why would I break up with my boyfriend? I love him, and I have no reason to. I just don't see any way forward. I can't handle this anymore. Would love to hear from people with immigrant parents or in interracial relationships. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.